Hey, welcome back, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in for a storytelling. This is going to be for the 19th of September. We have By the Book, card number 11. Ah, somebody might be doing things by the book, doing things the way their family taught them. Card 11 is oftentimes associated in the tarot deck with the Justice card, but sometimes 11 and 8 are inverted, and it can be the Strength card. So I'm just going to bring in some Leo and Libra energy because of Justice and Strength cards. Even though this is an Oracle deck, it's not that it should have anything to do with that. It's just my eyes saw 11, and I just really latched on to that. The By the Book, this is somebody who is listening, I'm going to say listening to their family, listening to, okay, this is how I was taught to do it, and so I have to do it the way my family said I'm supposed to do it. Now that can be a good thing, or it can be a very oppressive thing. So let's see, why is this coming up on the 19th first off? The Chariot, because somebody wants to either break free, or they want to go someplace, they want to leave, they want to go, take some step forward, but are they going to break away from doing it by the book that their family wrote? Are they going to gain their independence? Three of Swords is in the reverse. I'm going to say somebody needs to do something different for themselves in order to unbreak their heart. Why on the 19th? What is it? What's special about the 19th? Is it just, we have the Hierophant. It just happens to be the day that they feel more connected to their own higher self. It's not necessarily that the day itself is that important, perhaps. It's just this happens to be the time where something spoke to them. What is it that helped them find this connection to their higher self? And they said, I need to do this for me. Page of Wands. This, by the way, this is like somebody who's got like a little label on them that says 25. I always think of this like an art auction item for some reason, or maybe it's a date, or somebody might find a scribbled note or something, and whatever is scribbled on the note, even if it's not for them, even if it's not like, I remember one time in the Seattle train station, in the restrooms there, I read some very nice poetry in the bathroom, in the public bathroom there. And I, once in a while, scribbled things can have a lot of meaning. And I'm not sure, I'm not saying that somebody's going to read like awesome poetry on a bathroom wall stall or stall wall, stall wall, however you say that. But it could be something along those lines, or it could be a crumpled up piece of paper. It could be something that speaks to our character. That's just a weird side note, by the way. But this Page of Wands, pages are our messengers, and there is something written, but there's a date. Okay, so maybe the 19th is important because they need to do something by the 25th of this month. Maybe this is, somebody's birthday is coming up. Maybe this is like, I have to be there by the 25th. And if I don't make this move now, it's already the 19th. If I don't do this by the 25th, this isn't going to work. Or I have to put this plan into action. So timing could actually be important in this. Can we go back to By the Book? And can I just see what is the message here with the By the Book aspect? Knight of Swords. This person was told to stay in line, walk the line, nice and slow. And this is definitely them breaking away from their family's guidance, the way they were trained, the way they were taught. This is somebody who, and it's been tough for them to break away. We see all the obstacles they've had to run through, run around. We see the mountain there, and it's a huge obstacle. But this person, there's a sense of urgency in this storyline after all. They must do this because it's like, I can't let another year pass. I can't let another, the 25th can't pass me by, and I still didn't do this. Okay, so what is it that you want to do? You want to do something that'll unbreak your heart. Page again, another message, and then the Hanged Man. It's something that they have held off doing for possibly like 2 cycles that they know they should have, but then they paused. So whatever this is, it's something that they have needed to do. It is maybe I've needed to send a message to somebody. Maybe I've needed to reach out to someone and I haven't, because my family said no. Why would the family have said toe the line, do this by the book? You need to follow our layout for your life. The devil is upright and the two of swords is in the reverse. I feel like, I'm so sorry to say it this way, but someone has had a family that even if the family says this is how we do it in our family, you know, you take over the family business, you marry who we say, you do what we want, even if it's toxic, you don't ask questions. You do it because this is how we do it. And I feel as if follow to the letter what we told you to do. I feel like that's what it has been. No questions, no arguments. And I think for a long time, this person did kind of like blindly follow something that turns out to have been very toxic because it was never right for them. Look, what's right for one person will be absolutely maddening for another person. You know, we're all so different. I come from a big family. We have all, you know, different siblings, and none of us are alike at all. I could never live any of my siblings' lives, and they definitely could not live mine. Wouldn't want to, don't like it, you know, nothing. We're such different people, even though, you know, raised in the same household, but we're just very, very different. I remember crying one time when one of my sisters required me. I lost some kind of a bet or something, and then it meant that I had to play board games for like ever, it seemed like. And I remember weeping because I did not want to have to keep sitting down playing board games. I wanted to go hiking. Like, that's just a small example of, you know, how different every character can be. But I feel like they were very different than their family, and what might have felt very fine and normal and follow, you know, the family's lead was absolutely toxic for them because it didn't satisfy them. And this expectation for them to toe the line, even if you hate it, that is particularly where the toxicity comes from. Don't ask questions, just do what we said. Trust us, this works. This is the way you're going to live your life. This is where you're going to work. This is who you'll stay connected to. This is who you'll marry, and don't step out of line. I feel like that is what was presented to them as, here's how your life's going to be. That is not how this person wanted their life to be. I'm so happy that they're breaking away from that. I'm so very, very happy they're breaking away from that. But why the impetus right now on, I must do this now. I must break away. Ace of Coins, because there is something about the timing. I keep feeling like there is a date. And because of the 25th being there, I feel like there is a date in mind. It's like, I have to, this could be symbolic for this character. It could be like, I have to claim my new life by my birth date, by, you know, an anniversary date, or by this date that I set in my mind. Is there something special about the day? Page of Swords, and we have that start button, and we have the death and rebirth card in the reverse. For them, it is symbolic. Okay. It feels like they have, you know, we all set like, you know, ideas in our head. Sorry, my nose is itchy like crazy. We all set ideas in our head of when we need to accomplish certain things. Like, you know, I'm moving in 2 weeks, and I'm thinking about what things need to be boxed up by specific days. Like, that's how my brain works. I know that this one room needs to be boxed up within the next 3 days. So then I'll, you know, I've patterned it out, and I can stay nice and calm and not stress out as long as I have certain things done, you know, my checklist done by certain dates. And it's not a checklist that would make sense to anybody else, but to me it does, because of the way I've organized everything in my brain. That kind of thing might be what we're talking about with this character. It's a timeline that they set in their mind. And they say, if I don't do this, if I don't start my new life, if I'm not ready to do something symbolic, if I'm not ready to change the way I've been living, I won't get to a certain location on time. I won't do the symbolic thing that proves that I am starting my life over. If I miss this particular date, then it's like I missed out on, like, there is no change. So is it that they need to get to a certain place? Is it that they need to be somewhere? We have a compass. So that's why I'm thinking that this person, and a road, I'm thinking that this person is like, I have to travel somewhere. I have to be somewhere by a particular date because it's symbolic for me. Knight of Cups, it very well could be that they need to go and see a particular person. Could be somebody with blonde hair, doesn't have to be. Could be somebody who lives in a more green, lush area. This feels almost like, it feels like we got some serious altitude here. Those trees are really spindly, and there's no trees on the very top of that tree line. And the ones that are in front of it at a slightly lower elevation are very spindly. So I'm feeling like it's somebody who lives at a higher elevation, a feminine possibly. And that might be, they're like, I need to get to her. I need to by a certain date. So this is symbolic for an individual. And we're going to say a masculine in this, even though I don't actually read for genders. But on the 19th, he's like set his course. He said, I have to break away from what I was told, how I'm supposed to live my life, because I know it doesn't work for me. I must. And it's breaking my heart to keep doing something that I know is wrong for me. And I need to basically fly the coop. This could be somebody that is like getting away from a mother figure and taking off, in this case, on a motorcycle, or in this case, it's a horse. Maybe it's a car with a lot of horsepower. But I mean, we see action. We see them breaking away from, I'm going to say, like a family that laid out this character's life path, and it was never right for him. And as he's connected to his higher self on the 19th, he's like, I have to go. And if I don't do it now, I won't have enough days to travel to get to where I need to be, or I won't end up where I'm supposed to be. And that's so important because it marks me really changing my life. And so I have to do this. I've thought about it for a long time. Maybe it's her birthday, or maybe there's, I need to be where she's at. Knight of Cups, I have to prove that I just traveled all this way. Here's the Chariot again. I have to prove, you see, I'm not thinking about it anymore. I've done it. I've listened to my higher self. We got angel wings twice. So I'm going to say that this feels like it's so clear to them where they belong. It's so clear in their mind, in their heart, where they belong or who they want to be with, that they just can't sit still anymore. They can't live a life that isn't right for them anymore because other people want them to. And that does not work for this character anymore. And they know that there's no going back after this. This isn't like a test run. This isn't like, oh, I think I'm going to go sneak away and, have some little, escape and spend some time with somebody that my family doesn't approve of. And then, no, this is like a big, big life change for them. There's no going back. With this Six of Swords, I feel like there's been a lot of wasted time. There's been a lot of stress, unnecessary stress. I think every mile they move toward the goal that they really want to get to, which is her, the better and the calmer their emotions are probably going to start to feel. Like, I'm finally doing the thing I should have done a long time ago. And that High Priest, again, this is the Hierophant. So we've seen the Hierophant twice now. It's still, card 5 in the Major Arcana. This is not High Priestess. This is High Priest is what they call it in some decks. So it's Taurus energy. This really does feel like this is the bridge that they've needed to cross to fully say, look, maybe I'm doing this for love. Maybe I'm going to be with the person that I actually want to be with. Maybe I always needed to let myself move, break away from what my parents said. Maybe they disapproved of her. Maybe they didn't want him with her. But it's like, it doesn't matter if they disapprove. It doesn't matter if they say they want to disown me. I have to go where I need to go. But until they could get to this point where they just, listen to their own higher self, this has been like a scary thing for them to do. But I would say that this is them fully committing to trusting their own instincts of where they feel drawn to, where maybe this is the first time this character has ever made their own choices for their own life. Again, if you've been following somebody else's book and living according to other people's lives and what other people want from you, especially when it comes to something as important as your emotions. I mean, this doesn't have to be about love, but this Knight of Cups is a card that makes me think it is. But if they had been living their life according to somebody else and their families, whatever prescribed, approved lifestyle, it never suited them anyway. They weren't even happy. So them breaking away from this specifically so that they can end up where they need to be at the right time, I think that's super important. super important. But they have to, like, they're making the plans on the 19th, but it's all because they have to be at a certain place by the 25th. We have a 5 of Cups and we have the Magician in the reverse. This is also saying that with that higher self, with that, trusting themselves and making this change, this is also them facing the idea of, I've been so sad for so long. I've been so disempowered for so long. Maybe I even started to believe that this could never work. Maybe I just didn't have the confidence. And now this is me actually saying, I do have confidence in my own life. I'm not lost. I know exactly where I want to be. I feel like they let their head get muddled by other people for a while and acted like, I don't know why I'm so unhappy, but I think they've known all along. I think that they gave away their power, and this is them taking their power back. This masculine is definitely taking their power back. On the 19th is what it says. Okay, do we have a final message on this? And then we'll get a little birthday message. 9 of Cups. I think the 19th is going to be an amazing day for him. I think every mile he travels, and I do think he is traveling to maybe quite a distance. If he's thinking it's going to be days, by the way, he's holding a map here. If he has to travel a couple days to get to her, so well worth it. And I think just the act of doing this is like so exciting for him. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing it. This feels amazing. Maybe he's going to take his time. I keep feeling like it's a road trip. It's kind of like a lengthy road trip, but maybe it's because he's going to turn it into a lengthy road trip because he's just going to enjoy this entire, experience of like finally going to where he needs to go. So it's interesting because this is a card of, when I said card 11 here could be Justice or Libra, or, because it could be the Justice card, or it could be Leo with the Strength card. Having strength to overcome an injustice is maybe the other thing that we should add into that card and what that represented. All right, very nice. I'm certainly cheering for him. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get a message or two for somebody that is having their birthday on the 19th. Let's see. So this is unrelated to that other message. This is just for a birthday message. We have the Death card. We have a 7 of Cups. We have a Page of Coins. Oh, this is lovely. We have like the next year of a character's life could be one of opportunity, options. They have definitely completed some massive cycle in their life. This massive cycle is like, I almost feel like this could be a very important birthday, like a momentous one. And they're like, you know what? For a while, sometimes we can feel really old. We're like, I'm 30, I feel so old. And then we get to be 40 and we're like, I feel so foxy and young, or, oh man, I feel so dragging and so old at 40. And then we hit 60 and we're like, damn, I'm a freaking fox. Like I haven't felt this good about myself in a long time. It feels something like that. Like our character is going to really say, I can't believe I feel younger now than I did last year. Very beautiful. I have new options. I'm meeting new people. And with the Page of Coins, maybe we have a character who's also going to see their kids like graduate. And it's like, man, I'm so proud of my babies, or so proud of the fact that, I did my job. I launched my kiddos. They're great. I'm proud of them. But it also is like, and now I understand that was a lot of work I put into something, but I've completed that. And now the world is my oyster. I've learned that I also get I'm embarking on a new life, just like my kids are, just like, they get to kind of shape their world, and I actually get to shape mine differently now also. It really feels like somebody's workload is going to be lessened, and they get a second chance to just start their life over. I really feel like youthfulness is one of the biggest messages in that for this character. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Really appreciate all of you.